Hi, it's Gina. I'm sorry I was gone last week. I had a really bad cold and you wouldn't have wanted me here anyway because I was sneezing and dripping and all of that. So I'm back this week and we're going to make a card. This is the card we're going to make. Witch Kitty. I hope you like it. The design on this card comes from Tiddly Inks. And the sketch on this card is from Tuesday Morning Sketches. I will put all of the information down below, like I always do. Let's get started. We are going to be watercoloring. Here is our beginning piece. These are the watercolor brushes I use. I believe they're called Ohuhu. I got them from Amazon. I got the full set, which is 6 brushes. I never use the large brushes. There's a smaller set. I would suggest, unless you think you are absolutely going to use them, the smaller set would be what I would get if I were going to do it again. I never used the large brushes. I've used them a couple of times to try them out. The smaller brush is the one I use all the time. I'll use not the medium but the large brush as well. But we're going to get started with the small brush. We'll also be using Tim Holtz Distress Inks and Distress Oxides. And I tend to go from lighter colors to darker colors, but I do skip around a bit. So I'm starting with Scattered Straw. I tend to put down a little too much ink sometimes. I like the small blocks because it allows me to put a little less ink. I put my ink on an acrylic block. I could put it directly on my mat. The acrylic block just works well for me. The nice thing about these water brushes, especially for doing watercolor, is you can control how much water you add simply by the pressure of your fingers on the brush. I tend not to like to use a lot of water. I like my colors to be nice and rich, and I don't like to have them spread a lot. But I do use a bit of water to clean my block and my brush with. I'm going to now go on to carved pumpkin. I'm doing pumpkins, and there is a carved pumpkin. I appreciate that. It's one of the things I do actually really like about the Distress Ink colors. The names actually work well for what they are. The jeans color actually works nicely for jeans. The sky color actually works nicely for sky. I've had other color sets where the colors don't work for what they say they are. But these do. Nothing worse than a pumpkin color that doesn't work for pumpkins. Okay, one thing, and I'll talk about it more when we get to them. The inks versus the oxides. The inks tend to move more than the oxides do. So I like to use the inks first which is definitely that difference in going from lighter colors to darker colors. So if I put my inks down, see, right there, totally just did it. And I was able to pick that up a bit. The inks will blend into one another more. And it's also because of I have a bit too much water here. I'm actually going to use my heat gun to dry things a bit. I was using walnut stain, by the way. I'm going to go back over that pumpkin with some orange. I guess it's a good thing things went wrong, so you can see things definitely go wrong. And I'll see if I can fix this. If not, I've got another printout over here. I'll just start over. Finish this up. Okay. When good watercolors go wrong. Eeks. Added way too much orange there, but you know. Let's see if I can fix this. There's a chance I can. There's also a chance that I cannot. That brown is going to take over too much. Oh, maybe it'll work. It looks like it's gonna work. Alright. Well, that works. Okay. We just got a little darker spot on our pumpkin there. Ah. Who knew? Solving problems as we go. I heat that, I dry it, okay. So there you gotta see what goes wrong and that it's fixable. Remember that, things are fixable. So next I'm going to go in with my Oxide. And I'm actually going to do my black first. Which I normally would always do black last. But in this case, it just works. Okay. So now I'm going to do some purple. do purple on these little potion bottles. But I have a steady hand for this. And this is a spot where if I was using the distress inks, it would definitely seep into the pumpkin. But with the oxides, it just stays right where I want it to. And do the band on my kitty's hat. Okay, I kind of love adding the water to the distress oxides on my acrylic block. I just think it looks neat. I know, I'm just a big kid. I like to play. Okay, now I'm going to add my green and do my leaves. Okay, one of the reasons I like the little pads compared to the big pads is with the big pads, I end up having to add a lot of ink. With the little pads, I can add just a little bit of ink. A little bit of ink where I need it. But adding this big swatch of ink. Okay. Fun to play with. Okay, stop. All right. So that was our main design there. I'm gonna hit it with the heat again. Make sure everything's good and dry before I do my next step. Our kitty and our pumpkins and our potion bottles are looking good. I'm leaving the kitty white. But you can see how with those little green leaves, I didn't want the color to move around a lot. And with the distress oxides, I was able to get it in there and it didn't move in the potion bottles. But doing that broom, you saw how it seeped into the pumpkin. So you could see how it would have been harder to do if I had been using the inks. And that's been a big thing that I've learned, doing the difference between the oxides and the inks. If you want your color to move, do inks. If you don't want it to move so much, do oxides. Okay, so now I'm going to do the moon. And I'm actually going to blend two colors. I'm going to blend wild honey and mustard seed. And this is a bigger area, so I do want to add more ink down. And instead of that small brush, I'm going to use the larger one. By no means is it the largest, but you go small, medium, large, it's the large one. And I'm going to actually blend these. Okay. And now I'm going to try and get around the kitty without getting and here you might want to actually add a bit more water. I did get some on his foot. I'm sure you could do this before you painted. You did the rest of the painting. I tend to do it after. I don't know why. Just, that's what works for me. Your mileage may vary. I think one of the biggest things with any of this is you have to figure out what works best for you. What works for me may not be what works best for you. But I think the biggest thing is find out what works best for you. Watch and learn and find your style. Okay, so I did get some on his foot there. It's okay. He's got some moon glow. That's just the witchiness in him. Well, I don't know why I'm calling him a him. I guess mostly because I've had boy cats. I guess my last kitty was a girl kitty. Alright. So that's the painting part of it. I'm going to dry it. Make sure it's all set. Got our witch on and our flying across our moon here. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to turn it over. Add some okay, now I take my card. I had some adhesive. A little close to the top. Adhesive. I add my background. I check it from the back. Any that's hanging over, I go ahead and clip off. I didn't used to do this, but I think it makes the card look a lot nicer. I've been doing it now. And then add some adhesive to the back of my panel. Make sure everything lines up nicely. And there we go. Our finished card. And you helped me make it. I hope you enjoyed making a card today. Hopefully we'll make more in the future. If you would like to buy this card, I'll have the link below. I'll have the link to all the different things we used, all the different inks, and the brushes, and the heat gun, and the tape lighter, everything else. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit like. If you'd like to watch more of these videos, make sure to subscribe. Like I said, I'm sorry I wasn't here last Tuesday. I had a cold. But I should be here again next Tuesday. I'm not quite sure what I'll be doing, but I'm sure it'll be something super cool. Have a wonderful rest of the day, a wonderful rest of the week, and enjoy crafting. Bye.